Capital punishment is a legal penalty in Iran. Crimes punishable by death include murder, rape, child molestation, pedophilia, drug trafficking, armed robbery, kidnapping, terrorism, burglary, incestuous relations, fornication, prohibited sexual relations, sodomy, homosexuality, sexual misconduct, prostitution, plotting to overthrow the Islamic regime, political dissidence, sabotage, arson, rebellion, apostasy, adultery, blasphemy, extortion, counterfeiting, smuggling, speculating, disrupting production, recidivist consumption of alcohol, producing or preparing food, drink, cosmetics, or sanitary items that lead to death when consumed or used, producing and publishing pornography, using pornographic materials to solicit sex, recidivist false accusation of capital sexual offenses causing execution of an innocent person, recidivist theft, certain military offenses, waging war against God, spreading corruption on earth, espionage, and treason. Iran carried out at least 977 executions in 2015, at least 567 executions in 2016, and at least 507 executions in 2017. Iran is believed to execute the most people per capita. Iran insists that the execution numbers human rights groups allege are exaggerated, and that executions are only carried out after a lengthy judicial process. Iranian officials cite that they are fighting a large-scale drug war along its eastern borders, and the increase of drug lords and dealers causes a rise in executions. According to the BBC, Iran carries out more executions than any other country, except China. Death sentences in Iran are, in theory, legal for a variety of crimes, such as armed robbery, treason, espionage, murder, certain military offenses, drug trafficking, rape, pedophilia, sodomy, sexual misconduct, incestuous relations, fornication, homosexuality, prostitution, plotting to overthrow the Islamic regime, political dissidence, sabotage, apostasy, blasphemy, adultery, producing and publishing pornography, burglary, recidivist consumption of alcohol, recidivist theft, rebellion, some economic crimes, kidnapping, terrorism and few others. There are 4 classes of crimes in Iranian law: QESAS crimes, had crimes, ta'zir crimes, and deterrent crimes. In Iran, laws are created by the Islamic Consultative Assembly, also known as the Parliament of Iran. They must be verified by the Guardian Council and signed by the President of Iran. The laws must be consistent with Sharia, although many laws are derived from pre-revolution civil law, rather than Sharia. For example, while almost 80% of Iranian executions are for drug traffickers, drug trafficking laws are part of Iranian civil law, not Sharia law. There are 3 types of criminal courts. Criminal courts of first instance try serious crimes, had crimes, and QESAS crimes, such as murder, rape, and theft. These courts can issue death sentences. Criminal courts of second instance try misdemeanors and contraventions. The Islamic Revolutionary Courts try offenses aimed against the state and its associated institutions. Crimes include smuggling, terrorism, counterfeiting, and treason. The revolutionary courts can also issue death sentences. In most cases, executions are carried out in a provincial prison in the province where the crime took place. In serious cases, the criminal is publicly executed at the spot the crime was committed. Many serious criminals or drug-related criminals are sent to larger, more centralized prisons, such as Evan and Gohardisht prisons in Tehran and Wakilabad prison in Mashhad. A death sentence can be appealed to the Supreme Court of Cassation of Iran, which can affirm or deny the sentence. If the Supreme Court of Cassation finds irregularities, it can send the case to a lower court for a retrial. There is no limit on the number of times that a defendant may appeal. But if guilt is established, the court will affirm the sentence. In murder and rape cases, the perpetrator can ask for forgiveness from the victim's family. In other cases, the perpetrator can ask for clemency from the Amnesty and Pardons Commission of Iran to reduce their sentences. In 2011, an amendment to the Dangerous Drugs Act ended the official right of appeal for repeat drug offenders. Instead, they can directly appeal to the Prosecutor General of Iran. This change was made because the regular appeals courts were overloaded and could not carry out their work quickly due to a heavy volume of drug cases. Often execution is delayed until the person completes a prison sentence. Some murder and rape cases are delayed for 5 years in order to maximize the possibility of forgiveness and reaching a settlement. In Iran, the other type is a regular death sentence, hokm for crimes such as rape and drug trafficking. These sentences are completely separate in Iranian law, and this has created some confusion in news sources when authorities say that a murder will not result in execution, but in QESAS. In 2015, Amnesty